What if I told you India's retail market, the fastest growing in the world, is built not on tech giants or billion-dollar corporations, but on millions of small family-run shops? They're called Kirana shops, and they are everywhere, like literally everywhere. In every neighborhood, in every street corner, and many have been around for generations. They account for 90% of India's $1 trillion retail market. But now these beloved stores are facing a threat they've never seen before. The rise of big business, tech giants, and e-commerce could push thousands out of business, forever changing India's economic landscape. Yet Kirana shops aren't going down without a fight. In this video, you'll see exactly why these humble shops matter so much, how they're shaping India's future economy, and why their survival might redefine what capitalism looks like, not just for India, but for the entire world. This is India's Kirana culture. So let's start off with the basics. What exactly is a Kirana shop? And what separates it from a run-of-the-mill grocery store or the supermarket? Firstly, Kiranas are much smaller. Usually a tiny storefront, just several feet wide and long. They're usually family-owned, sometimes for generations, unlike franchise supermarkets. Owners usually know many of their customers by name, their go-to orders, and sometimes even small credit or IOUs to repeat customers. Fun fact, around 24% of Kirana shoppers buy on credit. A hyper-local efficiency and social connection give these shops a leg up on bigger stores. Trust goes beyond mere transactions. Okay, so Kiranas are basically small neighborhood shops to buy something quick and hang out. But how did they get so popular in the first place? Especially when large stores could be a lot more efficient with their size and bigger collection. The biggest reason for Kirana shop success in India is because of India's population, or maybe we should say overpopulation. This means every street offers a sizable market for success. Additionally, that extra crowding means that population centers are made up of smaller and smaller plots. Having a large piece of land or storefront is particularly challenging for many Indians due to sheer crowding. A lot of this is to do with India's laws. India's land laws in particular have a lot of red tape associated with them, resulting in difficulties to purchase land or high real estate pricing. Securing new land involves a lot of bureaucratic procedures and sometimes back scratching or passing some envelopes on the down low, basically corruption. Add to the fact that a lot of Indian land records are informal, which explains why your dad keeps fighting with his brothers and sisters over that good-for-nothing property in Falanapur. But seriously, that means a lot of land disputes happen because of these opaque land laws and records. A lot of times, these disputes are settled via India's slow-as-a-snail legal system or settled with good old-fashioned muscle and gundas. Additionally, India has always been a tough place to do business in. Its first Prime Minister, Jawaharlal Nehru, was an avowed socialist and even called profit a dirty word. This mentality would continue throughout the decades until India embraced capitalist reforms in 1991. Even then, India has been slow to open up in general, and ease of business still lags despite it becoming better recently. Where the Kirana shop advantage comes in is that it is informal and doesn't require a lot of space to set up actually. Anyone can rent a small space or say even a cart and set up a business, selling small snacks or basics. However, as I've told you before, India is indeed changing. Not just with technology, but even the government is pushing micro reforms in places like land and labor, as well as ease of business, which means the space is getting more competitive and the players are getting bigger. Business is a dog-eat-dog world. And now we're getting some big dogs in the house.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business.
You might assume some massive supermarkets and grocery stores are providing the biggest competition for Kirana shops today. But rather than a hardware issue, it's software which is providing the biggest threat. Kiranas have a competitive advantage of access and speed. You could get your basics easily just a stone's throw away from your house. But now you don't even have to throw a stone. A faster method has arisen, quick commerce. Quick commerce is ordering your basics, your groceries, food from restaurants, and there's even some cases of people ordering like PS5s on apps like Blinkit. Order almost anything on your phone and it comes to you in less than 30 minutes. With apps such as Blinkit saying that they could deliver things to you within 8 minutes. Sounds crazy, right? But it's real. So real, in fact, that the demand for quick commerce has exploded in the past few years. The quick commerce sector is expected to grow 80% in 2025, resulting in a $5 billion sector. This means that Kirana shop's speed and distance advantage has been shot through the gut. Quick commerce can achieve those lightning fast speeds through methods like micro warehouses, warehouses or dark stores strategically placed in dense cities. Sophisticated algorithms pick up on high-demand items, match them to relevant areas, and then pair orders with a delivery partner almost instantly. I didn't believe this was possible, but then I tried it myself, and it's really true. 8 minutes on the dot. This is a supply chain miracle. Now, older folks who don't know how to turn their phones on silent mode probably will keep going to Kirana shops instead of using these apps. But younger, more urban, and wealthier Indians are loving quick commerce. A report from Grant Thornton noted that most of the demand comes from mid to high income households in metro and tier 1 cities, especially those with annual incomes of 5 to 20 lakhs. So basically a lot of upper middle class and above. These are India's elite and aspirant classes. While some of this is old money, a lot of these groups are young and educated and trying to break out into India. And they embrace technology at a breakneck speed. With this eventual age transition, it kind of looks like Kirana shops are cooked, right? During my time in India, I was lucky enough to speak to some Kirana shop owners about their experiences during this age of technological transformation, especially since COVID. How or if even these shop owners could adapt to this new market. Here at Mahajan Departmental Store, a large Kirana shop in Sarita Vihar, Delhi, we hear the experience of how Kirana stores are adapting to new technological realities.
काफ़ी चीज़ें अब बढ़ गई हैं। उन्होंने अब शुरू किया 10 मिनट की सर्विस, हम तो 30 साल से 10 मिनट की सर्विस दे रहे हैं। बाकियों में उनमें इसलिए फ़र्क पड़ा कि उन्होंने अपने मेंटेनेंस नहीं रखी हुई, जैसे सिस्टम सही नहीं रखा हुआ। हमारे कस्टमर को सर्विस नहीं देनी, क्वालिटी नहीं देनी और क्वांटिटी नहीं देनी। हमने आज तक जो भी है ना, क्वालिटी अच्छी रखी है। हमने कोई कंप्रोमाइज़ नहीं उसके अंदर, क्वालिटी के अंदर कोई कंप्रोमाइज़ नहीं हुआ। आप कोई भी चीज़ चेक कर लीजिए, दालें हमारी फर्स्ट क्वालिटी की मिलेंगी आपको। हमने सर्विस पूरी दी है ना, 10 मिनट की सर्विस हमारी शुरू से, जो ये तो अब आने शुरू हुए हैं 10 मिनट। हम 10 मिनट की सर्विस तो 30 साल से दे रहे हैं। तो जो काम करेंगे प्रोफेशनल आदमी ही काम करेंगे, जिनके सिस्टम सही हैं।
अच्छा, तो जो काम ढंग से करेंगे उनका चलेगा?
उन्हीं का चलेगा, दूसरे का नहीं चलेगा। जो सर्विस कस्टमर को दे दें, तुरंत सर्विस दें, सब कुछ दें, quality भी दें, quantity भी दें।
Now, while Rajneesh has taken advantage of technology and is adapting to this new era, being very optimistic about the future, not all Kirana shop owners are this optimistic.
अब तक तो स्लो ही लग रहा है, पता नहीं अब कैसा। बहुत ज़्यादा 60-40 फ़र्क है। कुछ लोग रेगुलर लेते थे, वो उसमें डाइवर्ट हो गए हैं। अब जैसे जो लोग ऐप नहीं चलाना जानते, जो थोड़ा एजड हैं, वो लोग तो हमारे से हैं अभी। और जो यंग जनरेशन है, वो तो ऐप में ही डाइवर्ट हो गई। उनको चलाना आता नहीं है ऐप से, जो ज़्यादा एज वाले लोग हैं, यंग जनरेशन, वो उसमें डाइवर्ट हो गई।
These types of differing fortunes are something you'll see across India. India is changing rapidly with technology. The youth have different spending patterns. Either Kirana shops adapt, many times taking on aspects of quick commerce, or they stagnate and they sink. Let's double click on this digitization aspect of it. India has been digitizing at a rapid pace in the past several years. This includes Kirana shops. Nearly 80% of Kirana shops accept QR payment through methods like UPI, which is a digital payment method for quick, basically free direct bank-to-bank transfers. And we've heard from Rajneesh how WhatsApp is utilized for custom orders and deliveries, but are there other ways that Kirana shops are keeping up? One method that's cropping up is Kirana shops partnering with big businesses or quick commerce. They act as mini warehouses or last-mile delivery outlets for a lot of these quick commerce giants. Platforms like Jio, Swiggy, even Amazon India partner up with local Kiranas to help deliver goods. Orders are sent to them via e-commerce platforms and they're immediately fulfilled. Another way Kiranas are competing are through the government, something called ONDC. ONDC is basically like an open source Amazon or e-commerce website started by the government of India. Businesses can put their products up onto the site and sell directly to customers without worrying about high fees or having to rely on a single logistics company. ONDC is still in its early phase, but has a massive potential to transform India's e-commerce sector. And rather than focusing on leveling a playing field, I think what it's going to do is enable these ambitious and tech-savvy Kirana shop owners to take advantage of technology and broaden their business. Essentially, instead of getting squeezed out, savvy Kirana shop owners are going to become vital cogs in this evolving Indian supply chain or even new Indian economy. They're embracing software for inventory management, digital wallets, and even sophisticated analytics to anticipate customer needs. The future isn't about digital versus physical stores anymore. It's about who can blend both seamlessly. And that's where adaptable Kiranas have a fighting chance. India has always been about innovation in constraint. The next decade of retail could see India's Kirana stores becoming the blueprint for hyper-local retail around the world. This innovative dynamic between Kirana shops and quick commerce really encapsulates what India is today. A balance between tradition and modernity. Cultural closeness meets turbulent technology. If you know anything about the history of India, you'll know how important synthesis is when it comes to culture, politics, society, or economics. And what we see today with Kirana shops and this tech-enabled commerce, this is that synthesis in action. In this way, Kirana shops are proving that tradition and technology don't necessarily have to compete. They can coexist beautifully. They're adapting, partnering, digitizing, and doing what they've always done best, being personal, convenient, and irreplaceably human. The digital revolution is transforming India's retail landscape. But as long as Kiranas evolve with it, they'll continue to thrive as India's economic heartbeat. India's retail future may be digital, and seriously, quick commerce is absolutely phenomenal. If you're ever visiting India, download it and try it yourself. It is amazing. India's retail story fundamentally remains human, grounded in connection, community, and trust. And perhaps in that way, Kirana culture doesn't just survive, it flourishes. Thanks for watching, everyone. This is Akshay from The Emissary. If you want to support this channel, as well as the extra stuff I do when it comes to writing and everything like that, donate via PayPal or UPI. You'll find links in the description below. Or you can join my Patreon, where you get access to all my AI art, notes I use for the show, book notes, research stuff, scripts. There's a lot of goodies in there. And especially because this show survives and thrives off of your support. So I really appreciate your help on this. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Have a good one.